Hello, thank you for joining this live podcast. My name is Dr. Kundlas and I'm a primary care physician. Today we have very pertinent topic regarding top strategies to halt aging. And not only aging, but halting accelerated aging, which is very prevalent in our society. And in this podcast, we will be discussing about what is normal aging is, why the aging happens, and then what we could do to prevent it and prolong it as long as humanly possible. What is aging? Aging and being older or elder needs to be differentiated. Aging means all the burden which our body accumulates because of business of living in this world. No matter from where it comes, what is left, the baggage which we are left from life and living, that is aging. And being elder means live, vibrant, and living it the way we need to live. These are two very discrete and different concepts. We need to get older, but not aged, because age is a degenerative. Age is linked with all the negative connotations which we have with age and living. We must strive to live healthier as long as humanly possible. In medicine, we have two cardinal goals. A, to improve quality of life, which is your health span, and to increase duration of life, which is your lifespan. Keeping these two in line, your health span and lifespan, let's progress to this discussion. In the beginning, we will outline what happens when we age. Second, where the science stands and what are the new groundbreaking techniques, technologies, hacks which are being developed. But at the end of the day, for a normal average person like you and me, what we could do so that we could benefit from the science and we do not need to hack our physiology or biology. Once we talk about aging, in aging, at the ultimate unit is that our cells stop reproducing into healthy cells. That's one. Second, our cells accumulate, or our body accumulates a lot of cells which are called senescent cells. They are not functioning. They are just there in our body and they are leading to chronic inflammation and degeneration. Number of stem cells, the cells which replace old tissues, whether it's your brain cells, heart muscle cells, your musculoskeletal cells, your lung cells, your heart cells, anything, those stem cells replace the old cells with the new cells. On chromosomal level, there are on the end of the chromosome, there are caps which basically regulate the expression of the chromosomes or duplication or multiplication of the chromosomes into different newer cells. Their caps become small and our cells cannot replicate properly. We call it telomere. As we age, the length of the telomeres decrease. Then comes is in our cells, the energy powerhouse is our mitochondria. When we are young, our cells have a lot of mitochondria. They are working properly. They are taking care of all the chemical requirements which we have to live and energy. But as we get old, we find that the mitochondria are not working properly and they are just there adding to the degeneration of burning, and they are not involved in energy production and repair. And last but the least is how our environment affects our genetics, which we call epigenetics. I think that needs to be understood because a lot of discussion these days is related to epigenetics. Say for example, it is found if the parents are smokers or parents are alcoholics or parents who are indiscreet with their sexual preferences, or they are indiscreet with eating, their children acquire those traits. The way our social traits get passed on to our offsprings, that is called epigenetics. And epigenetics is a topic in itself, and we will discuss in future podcasts, and we'll bring day to day what epigenetics means. But for this discussion, we talked about as we age, we have a lot of senescent cells. They are not functional cells, they are just dormant cells continuously producing inflammation. And mind you, they are your own cells, but they have served their purpose, but the body for some reason cannot circulate them. Second is mitochondria are getting accumulated in these cells and they are not participating in energy production. The length of telomere is decreasing and epigenetics is affecting your cells. That is what happens in the end products of aging. But question comes in is, how do we reach there? There is a lot of anti-aging research which is going on. And what they are trying to do is they are trying to hack these biological processes where they are aiming with different medications and technologies so that they could jumpstart the stem cells which we are left with to produce more vibrant cells so that we could prevent aging or reverse aging. And if you look at the anti-aging literature, there is a lot of new research which is very fascinating, though it is experimental stage, but there is a lot of work being done on that. Second, a lot of medications have been touted, a lot of vitamins which have been touted. But the truth of the matter is, in this process, what we are left with is birth of non-functional, non-reproducing cells producing chronic inflammation and degeneration in the body. You will find there are people who are 90, 95 years old. They're full of life. Their energy level is good, everything. They have gone through chronological age, but they have not accumulated this chronic degeneration end products. What is the difference between those people who are just getting older but not getting aged? That they have something in their lifestyle, way they live day to day. They are able to trigger certain cellular mechanisms where these processes work properly for a long time and they are not accumulating the products of chronic inflammation. All the literature, if you read in anti-aging, it goes back to our personal daily habits. People who are older but not aged, they have very common features. All of them, which we will discuss in detail about all of them, they have very good daily habits, which makes them very vibrant, and they accumulated this end products of aging at a very slower pace. And they are able to replace with the newer cells, and this part of it is. If we want to stay young and vibrant, it is so far clear that we must eliminate the end products of aging, whether those are senescent cells or the size of the telomere which is decreased, or our mitochondria are not working. All these things needs to be destroyed from the body and circulated. And there is a lot of anti-aging research going in that field too. A, to slow these processes. B, to stimulate the processes which will reverse aging. But so far, nobody has been able to hack our natural physiology. There are a lot of theories, and depending on whom you listen to, a lot of people claim a lot of breakthroughs, but there is nothing evidence-based so far. The most common medications in anti-aging literature are, number one, metformin. It's a medication we use for diabetes, but this is shown, though we cannot pinpoint the mechanism, it is shown that it is one of the anti-aging medications. Then resveratrol from the wine, fasting, NAD precursors. This is a nicotinamide, one of the vitamins. All these things have been tried, and a lot of multi-billion-dollar industries have been made and built around it. And there are a lot of good books and a lot of science and pseudoscience which have been promulgated in print media, on the digital media. But they take one isolated case and they blow it out of proportion. What I want to say for my audience is, so far there is nothing evidence-based studies or processes or supplements which are available which will reverse aging. So it goes back to the other group. We need to live clean. If we have daily habits which will slow this processes of aging, then we will live long, we will live vibrant, and we will be happy. So let's go back to what are the habits of those people who just are old but they're not aged. Most common thing which starts is first knowing yourself. As I say in every podcast, human beings have 5 domains. You have your body, through which you know this word. Second, your emotions. Third, your thoughts. Number 4 is your spiritual. And 5th is your social domain, which is made of other people, places, things, time, and events. That is the autobiography of every human being. Body. Those elders, they take care of their body. What does our body need? Our body needs nutrition, exercise, proper rest, proper sleep. If we take care of these basic needs and we feed our body those things, our body will serve us for a long time. Food. Food is fuel of life. As we have progressed, our life have become more comfortable, and I'm not complaining about that. Thank God for that I'm not a hunter-gatherer who is walking 10 miles every day to collect about 12 to 1300 calories. All the improvement in agriculture medically has led to one thing, that food is abundant. And food, whether it's a junk food or a good food, that inherently doesn't make it right or wrong. The problem which we have is with our choices. Unfortunately, when we were growing up, our mothers cooked at home and the food was not available 24-hour basis. We ate at proper time. There was hardly any snacking. But now with the advent of new system and new home environments, our food is not as diverse, as nutritious, and we are relying a lot on pre-made, pre-cooked, processed and ultra-processed food. This is the fact which we all know. This is not something which I have invented or anything. What I'm trying to bring it to your awareness is, this thing is definitely leading to a lot of complications. Our food these days is very high in processed and ultra-processed products, lot of salt, lot of sugar, leading to lot of inflammation, insulin resistance, high cholesterol, and obesity, which leads to both chemical and mechanical complications. All these things affect our cellular mechanism and we accumulate those processes. The idea about this podcast originally started when I saw a patient in my office. That guy was only 56, but by the time he's 56, he has already had a heart attack. He had lost one leg due to decreased circulation. He has very severe COPD. He was in a motorized wheelchair. He had an oxygen tank behind it, and he was entering into our office with a cigarette in his hand. And when I examined him, he could barely breathe. There was no air going in and out. He already had a bypass. So that concept started. This gentleman, not only he's aging at a very accelerated pace, and that's what I thought that I must share my thought process on aging and accelerated aging. That guy may be only 56, but physiologically he was more than 80. Problem which we have as a human being is our mind does not get old, but our body doesn't support. He was miserable, and no matter which way you looked at it, he doesn't have more than a couple of years, if at all, he has in this world. What a loss of life, productivity, and a loss of to the family members. So food is very important. We must go back to knowing how to cook ourselves. We live in a very fast-paced world. Our workforce is 50% male and 50% females. So it's not that the distribution of work at home has already tilted. They are equally or more busier than us. I think one of us at home, male or a female, must take the responsibility of ensuring we have a proper nutrition and we are not ordering out and we are not eating processed or ultra processed food. Second, biggest thing which affects our body is smoking. Smoking give you heart attack, stroke, COPD, PAD, name anything. It does not do anything good. I have done literature search and I've been a physician for almost 30 years. I have never could find any positive connotation related to smoking. I fully understand it's a difficult habit to break, but we all can if we want to, because there is a lot of help. State of Florida and multiple other states have a free smoke quitting programs where they will provide you nicotine supplements and replacements so that it makes it easy, but it has to start from here. Next is exercise. Exercise is very important. Exercise is the only thing which is shown to stimulate stem cells in the brain and everywhere in the body. If you exercise regularly, and especially both aerobic, anaerobic, balance, and flexibility exercises, you will keep your body stimulated and you will reach a point there is a healthy balance of how much your number of cells you're losing and when you're gaining. We should not consume alcohol unless it's occasional, and then eventually you live long. So these daily habits leads to risk factors. These risk factors leads to end organ damage and end stage diseases, which we all culminate and put it together in aging. What can we do? At the level of body, we must eat clean. And what is clean eating? Food which is predominantly plant-based, fruits and vegetables, healthy meat, healthy fats, vitamins and minerals, some legumes, some nuts. That should be, and no snacking, no soda. That should be our mainstay of our food. 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a week, preferably 7 days a week. Both strength training, which is weight training, and aerobic exercises. Sleep well, stop smoking, stop drinking, don't use drugs. Manage your stress, control your emotions, connect with people. That is what living should be. Because the reason we are talking about that, because we have swayed away from that. If we could start connecting to this process, what we could do. We conduct survey from our patients and ask them a lot of questions on the topic which we are going to be discussing in a podcast. One of the main questions was, how does fasting help? Fasting is getting with a lot of different names. Now these days the fancy name is intermittent fasting. Fasting definitely has a lot of benefits, at least in preventing aging. When we are fasting, our body senses it and it has to recognize that it needs to improve, adapt, It starts all the chemical processes in the body so that it can repair and regenerate. And in that process, it destroys all the senescent cells which are just dormant sitting there, and they are not involved in day-to-day business of life, and they get recirculated. Second, your mitochondria become more efficient. All those mitochondria and their products which are collecting in the cells, they get recirculated, and whatever is left there, they start working properly. It is estimated that if you fast consistently, the length of the telomere also increases. Fasting is also a test of your self-will. It's train you how to resist your temptations. That give you mental fortitude to say no and say yes to the things which are important to you. So fasting is very important. Second, smoking. I truly believe nothing does more damage to this body than smoking. There is no reason any of us should be smoking, and the help is available. Your physician, your state authorities will be more than willing to help you with this process. Get help. There is enough help available for you. Alcohol. Alcohol gets into the literature consistently. We know for a fact excessive amount of alcohol, which is more than 2 drinks every day, which makes it 14 drinks for a male and 7 drinks for a female, is the legal definition of being chronically alcoholic. But in context of aging, if you drink more than 1 drink per day, which is 1 ounce of hard liquor, 1 can of beer, or 1 glass of wine, directly leads to a high risk of heart attack, stroke, dementia, and make you age prematurely. Drugs, I don't think we need to even talk about that. We all know it is not helpful. So if you combine exercise, proper diet, nutrition, and you could reverse a lot of aging. I have seen a lot of my patients, they are in 80s and they were not very healthy even in 80s. They had catastrophic event, few of them heart attack, few of them fell and had a fracture, but they had in them to get better. They had lust for life. They started eating right, stopped smoking in 80s, and they started regular exercise program, and they were able to recover all function. They lost a lot of weight, their skin got better, their muscle mass increased, they were able to reconnect and do a lot of things which they were not able to do in their younger days. So there is no age where we should not start getting better. The best is to start very early, that when we are young, that we don't accumulate the burden of this chronic and degenerative processes. But even at the advanced age, we could do better and we can improve. I hope I am able to convince you why we age and why it shouldn't be. What are the things happen during aging? There is no age not to start. It is about living clean, preventing chronic risk factors, and also adopting healthy lifestyle. I'm not oblivious how hard it is to do these things, but if we don't stop, we will age, and we will age at a very accelerated rate. And I think that is what bothers me. Since I started looking into this topic, I found every other patient who is coming, they were a lot more older than their physiological age. They may be 60, but their body is probably 70 or 80. That made me sad, because these people are going to leave this world 10 to 15 years prematurely. I have not come across any human being who wants to leave this world and leave this world quickly. We all should do everything to live in this world as long as humanly possible, and that's what I strive every day. But I come into the picture when you don't take care of yourself. Healthcare industry we spend 80% of our money not on prevention but management of chronic medical problems. With this understanding, if we could change our life at a younger age and if we could improve our daily habits, we will be able to prevent a lot of chronic organ damage and complications and consequently aging. But there is no age when you cannot start, cannot get better. Thank you very much for giving your attention. My name is Dr. Kulmeet Kundlas and I'm a primary care physician. My YouTube channel, Kundlas MD, is dedicated to simplifying healthcare information. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I will see you in next session. Have a good day. Thank you very much.